Hi, coming at you again from my Turner training facilities in the basement. And so I'm going to run through, this is workout 2, and you have a warm-up that is specific, that's easy for low back pain, and you can incorporate in through your day. But this, I'm going to do a quick warm-up, and then we'll get right into the workout. Today, I'm going to start my back. Knees bent. Just going to do some breathing here just to kind of connect to the floor, see where your back is. Can you feel your shoulder blades against the floor? Do you feel even on either side of your hips? We're going to go into a single leg bridge. So one knee is going to come up. You're going to lift up and down. See if you can drive through your heel on the down leg. Lift your toes off the floor. And then the other side. I like to keep my fingers here just to make sure that I'm level. Make sure you're breathing through it. And we're going to bring your legs up straight, hands down on the floor, lower one leg in the range of motion that feels comfortable for you without letting your back arch. Good. We're going to get into some cogs. You're going to arch your back, flatten your back. Rotate your shoulders. Let your neck move. Put your legs out straight. We're going to do the opposite of the leg raise. And you're going to raise one leg straight up. Keep the toes pointing up so that your knee points straight to the ceiling. Now you may not be able to go this high. Your key is keep your knee straight. Keep the down leg straight and flat on the floor. A quick roll over. Go into a full cat-cow. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bird dog. Stabilize. If you're really wobbling all over the place, try that stick. Don't worry about how high your arm and your legs go. Back down onto our side and do some trunk rotation. So you're going to start on your side with your knees flexed up to 90 degrees, hands together. Keep your head down on the floor, and you're going to rotate your trunk back. You can have your hand across your chest so that you make sure that it's your trunk and not your shoulder. This will feel different than the one in child's pose. And then we'll roll to the other side. Start with your hands out together, then cross your hand across your chest and rotate back. Don't forget to breathe. And we're going to roll back over onto hands and knees. Take a breath and crawl forward and back. Good, a little core activation, toes tucked under, back flat, chin tucked, neck long. Lift your knees off the floor for your exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. Move on to two knees. Bring one leg forward. Tuck your hip under. We're going to rock forward for 5. Chin tuck, neck long. And then we're going to hold center. Make sure that your hip is level, that you're not arched forward or back. And just work on holding there. The goal is not to wobble, but you may wobble as you start. Before we switch to the other side, we're going to bring your foot back a little bit, bend your knee forward, get a little ankle mobility. Keep your chin tucked and your neck long, but you can help that mobility. Just go to what's comfortable for you. Switch sides. Toes tucked under, butt tucked under. We're rocking forward and back. This front leg should be right on, your foot should be underneath your knee. And you should feel the stretch in your opposite hip. So my right leg is up, my left leg is where I'm feeling the stretch. And we're going to come center, make sure our hips are level. Chin's tucked, neck long, ribs down. Little core stability as well as hip stability. We're going to bring that foot back a little bit and rock into the ankle to get some ankle stretch. Good. And we'll come up. I'm going to do the step back. Dynamic hamstring length, working on heel strike in our gait. I'm going to do a lot of single leg activity today, so it's good to do some single leg warm up. And the last one that I'm going to do for our warm up is a clock. So if I face forward, you're imagining 12 o'clock straight in front of you, 6 o'clock directly behind you, 9 o'clock is to your left, 3 o'clock is to your right. We're going to step your foot, bending the leg that you're standing on, tapping the leg that's moving. So my left leg is still and it's bending and straightening, and I'm tapping as many numbers of the clock as I can. Allowing your foot to move, allow your hip to move. You get tired, you can stop. I do these regularly so I can make it around the full clock, but I still get some muscle burn. Other side, right knee is bending, left leg stays straight. I'm going in the opposite direction, counterclockwise. This creates some ankle mobility, hip stability. It will work your balance and gets your heart rate up a little bit to get you ready into the workout. All right, that's our warm up. We are going to get now into our core exercises, which today we are starting with a belly press. Again, for this purpose of this, actually I might record through the full set, the 3 sets. We'll see. All right, so the side plank. You have an option. If this hurts in your back, in your shoulder, you might just do some up and down. You could do this against a wall, or you can do it with your knees bent to make it a little bit easier, or your legs out straight. Our goal is to get our body stacked. So shoulders, top shoulder is directly over your bottom shoulder. Your hips are directly over each other. The top leg will rest on the floor if your legs are out straight. And this hand can be on your hip to keep you, make sure that you're not rocking, or I like to have it down by my side too. So chin tuck, neck long, and we're coming up into neutral. The goal is to hold for 30 seconds here. Not rocking forward or back, maintaining center. If that's too challenging, do the length of time that you can. If you can't hold for even 2 seconds, just do some up and down in the range of motion that feels good. This will pack your shoulder, so get some shoulder work. It does hurt on the elbow a little, so have a little padding underneath there, and you'll feel work in through the core. Let's flip into the other side. So chin tuck, neck long, shoulders back, ribs down, top foot on the floor, lifting up and holding. Or up and down, whatever feels right for you. 3 breaths is about 30 seconds. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Make sure your neck is long. Good. I don't have a timer with me ever, so I just use my breath to count. Plus, that makes sure that I'm breathing. In for 3, pause for 1, out for 6, 10 seconds, 3 breaths, 30 seconds. All right, so belly press. This you're going to use a band for. If you don't have a band, you could use a dumbbell, but I like the bands or a cable column if you're at the gym. So you're going to tie the band onto a doorknob or a rack. I'm going to hold mid-range here. It's a great band because it has, it's called TheraBand CLX. It has multiple loops and you can choose your resistance with it. So you're going to pull through your belly button, push away. Belly button, push away. Here we are keeping our ribs down. You don't have to get a huge posterior tilt, just get yourself into a comfortable position. You might do some cogs in between to find that position, but making sure the ribs stay down, that your chest is proud, your shoulders are back, your chin is tucked, and your neck is long. I realize you can't see that here, but knees are slightly bent. 8 repetitions to each side. Good. Switch sides. Pull to your belly button and press away. You're not going back in. You don't have to go back in each time. Just keep it steady here. You should feel the band pulling you back towards wherever it's anchored to. Good. Coming back down on the ground into our side planks. Let's start left this time. Or start the opposite side. And we're going to come up and hold. Again, you go to what you can do. If you can only do up and down in a short range, that's okay. If you need your knees bent, that's okay. Make sure that you keep your postural cues. Down, switch and do the other side. You can tell those are a challenge for me. I can shake. A little shake there is okay. If you're struggling through it, come down. You can build up to the 30 seconds. Back to our band. Belly press. I like to start opposite sides just because then it challenges the muscles a little bit differently as you go, instead of doing the same routine each time. Hold on to the band. Some ways you have a little tension. Hold to your belly button and press. Good. Same thing, second side. Tuck your butt, ribs down, chest tucked, chin tucked, neck long, chest proud. Good. Last set of planks. Coming up. If you wear a heart rate monitor, you might notice that your heart rate's getting up, so you're getting a little bit of conditioning just by doing this, as well as building your strength, which will help your bones, help your muscles, help everything to move better. And that mobility work we did in the beginning will really help to loosen things up that need to, followed up by stabilizing, which keeps you strong. Up. I got my other side. Make sure you're not rocking forward or back, that you keep everything stacked. And your eyes are on the horizon, chin's tucked. Good. One last set of belly presses. If you're holding a band, come in with one hand, wrap the other hand around, or you can lace your fingers. Second side. Put that out of the way. Take a quick sip of water. And we are going to get into our workout. All right, single leg squats. Especially if you're just starting out. First of all, these are great strengthening for your quad, your hip, ankle mobility, ankle strength, and your core. They are a challenge. So, and they're really important as far as women to protect our knees when we are walking. They can be uncomfortable as you're starting, so you regress it to as you need to. I'm going to work it to my bench. If that's too low for you, like if a chair is too low for you, work in whatever range feels comfortable. We're going to start, slide it forward. So you're going to start in sitting. If you need to, you can stand up with 2 feet, lift 1 foot, regress with have the foot forward, hands out or hold in, but hands out. And we're going to sit back to touch. Come up with 2 feet, slowly lower down. 2, down with 1. Up with 2, lift your opposite leg, down with 1. As you progress, you'll be able to come up with 1 and down with 1. You could also have your hands here with your elbows up so that you're not leaning forward. We don't want to dump our body forward. You will wobble. It's a great balance exercise. Don't worry the wobble, it's training your balance, and as you get stronger, it will get better. Second side. You may notice one side feels easier or harder than the other. Do the modification that you need to work for you. If you can't go to the box yet, just lowering a range that feels comfortable for you will start to get you there. As that gets easy, you can add some resistance. Sometimes a little bit of resistance actually helps to make it easier because it counterbalances your core. So I like to use a kettlebell, hold it by the horns. That helps to keep you upright as you come down. But try it without any weight to start. All right, our press today, we're going to do some, I'm going to say go with lateral, we can do an overhead press. So, either lateral raises or an overhead press. If you're pressing, you should have full range of motion overhead. I'm a little restricted, so I like to do it in kneeling or in half kneeling because that kind of makes me lock out my core a little bit and isolates my shoulders. I'm going to you can sit back on your heels, lock out your lower back a little bit more, or you can be up in tall kneel. So we're going to pull this, you're going to hold on tight to the kettlebell, pull it right up to your shoulder so you're in a rack position to start. Press overhead. You can see I'm leaning back a lot, so I'm going to sit back to my heels. Try to keep your chin tucked and your neck long. Good. Second side. How's your breathing? Good. I am sitting on my toes, with my toes up, which you can be down here also. Being in the kneeling position actually takes a little bit of workout, so it's easier than standing and probably better for your shoulders if you're really struggling to do that. All right, single leg deadlift. Now this one, as you're just starting out, learn how to use a stick. For me, I'm going to use my trusty ski pole.
This ensures that you keep your back straight and your postural cues. This again is a balance exercise as well as a strength exercise. You will really work your glutes, your hamstring, and provide some great stability. Make sure you're not going to kick anything. We're going to start with a stick against your back. The leg that's going up is the hand that's going to be down. So it's going to rest against your butt, your shoulder blades, and the back of your head. And you can start with just having the back toe on the floor, and you're going to push your hips towards the back wall as you bend forward. This is called a hip hinge, similar to the half kneeling or the high kneel hip hinge that we did. The knee can be a little bent, but we're not bending the knee on this one. So it can be soft. It should feel more working through the hips. As you get comfortable, lift your leg. Good. And we're going to go to the other side. And we're going to switch our hands. Sometimes used to call this a dipping bird exercise. Your eyes will stay on the horizon where the wall meets the floor. And I think that's 8. I'm really bad at counting. All right, next we're going to do a high kneel pull. High pull. You could do this standing. I like again to do this kneeling because I think it works my core a little bit more, and just the angle for in here, it works a little easier. So tie a band to the top of your door. Make sure the door is shut and locked pretty good. Or you come down onto 2 knees. Toes can be relaxed. Shoulders are down, ribs are down, chin's tucked. You're looking at the wall straight in front of you, and you're pulling down. Make sure you're not arching back, but you're keeping trunk upright. The alternative to that would be an IT and Y. I'll do that next set. Our step up and our suitcase carry. So you'll get a box or a step. It doesn't have to be this high. We do this in a warm-up or on a regular basis to get some ankle mobility, but today we're going to do it more of a resistance. You can start without weight, and then you could add weight to make it a little bit harder. So I'm just stepping forward and back. You can see I'm stepping on you can see my box here, but I other times would use a Reebok step. So anything that feels comfortable or just a regular staircase will work too. All right, so get the kettlebell. I'm going to hold it in my opposite hand 8 times on the right. And the second side. You don't want the box to be higher than like 2 fingers below your kneecap when you're standing. But the higher the box, the more work you're going to get in through the hip. Good. And then we're going to do our suitcase hold. Same as with a farmer hold in workout 1. Ribs are down, chest is proud, shoulders are back, chin's tucked, neck long, pelvis is level. We can walk for about 30 feet. Or we can just hold. bend to put it down. I like to turn around, pick up with my other side. Okay, one set down. Let's run through in a second set. Can see me here. Single leg squats to a bench. If you can't make 8 reps to start, don't worry, you'll get better. If your knee bothers you during this one, see if it's what position it's in. Can you give some pressure on the outside of your knee to make it line up? Go back to 2 feet up. Keep the heel down, 1 foot down if you need to. Good. Second side. Good. I'm going to show you lateral raises this time through. I don't have dumbbells at my house. I don't like to do lateral raises with a kettlebell because it's just too awkward on your wrist. So I'm going to use a plate, but dumbbells work perfect. So you can hold the plate by, and it's going to use some different counterbalance. I'm going to come in and hold here. Ideally, you're going to get your hand wrapped nice and tight and work your grip strength at the same time. We're going to go a little bit diagonal out to the side. You can see I'm hiking back a little, so let's come down onto one knee and stop that. Or drop your weight down, right? Good. Second side. My right leg is up, I'm using my left hand. If you use a plate, fingers through the middle and thumb here will help you to keep your wrist neutral and not crank on the wrist as you're lifting. Or when you do this, you're not having to balance the weight either, because that puts a different challenge on it. Single leg deadlift again. This time we'll go, if that was easy and you can maintain your posture, then we can progress to this. If it wasn't, stay with the stick at your back. We're going to have the stick right now at our thighs. Same exact exercise, but this time we're just going to do a little bit of a reach with our hands. See, I wobble a little bit more. Thinking about touching the wall in front of you with your hands or the stick, and the wall behind you with your butt. Good. Second side. Good. T's and Y's. We did our pull downs last set. If you have a ball, you can lay over the ball. Since I don't have a ball down here, we're going to just lay on the floor. Put a small towel underneath your forehead if you need to. Start with your arms at a Y overhead, wherever they're comfortable. Pull your ribs down, keep your back, the front of your hips pressed into the floor. And we're going to come up Y. Come out to the side. Don't knock your kettlebells if they're resting in your way. I like thumbs up because I think it gets better external rotation. And then we're down to our side. Straight back is the eyes. Some people call these A's. You could do straight here, but I don't have great shoulder mobility, so that's not one that I probably need to do more of, but I gotta get things stronger before I do those. Back to our step-ups. How'd that last set feel for you? Was it easy? Was it hard? If it was easy, bump some weight up. I liked how it felt. So I'm gonna stay with the same weight. Opposite hand in the kettlebell. Nice and slow on the way down. Second side. I had plantar fasciitis last summer from running. I tried all my tricks to get rid of it. What started to help it was when I started doing my step-ups. It loosened my ankle up, it worked my foot, and it worked my hip, which I think is what it needed. So tune into that. It's a great exercise. It may not seem like you need to do it very often, but it really strengthens a lot. So consider adding that into your workout or even just a warm-up. My suitcase carries are a little easy, so I'm going to go heavier. I'm just going to walk. Push the weight down to the ground. You can use a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a plate. Ribs down, chin tucked, neck long, shoulders back. You're going to feel work on the opposite side of where you're carrying. Once you've done your distance or your time, put it down, turn it around. Chin's tucked, shoulders are back. Back is neutral, bending your knees and lifting up. Good, hips back. Should we do a third set? Might as well, right? Let's get through the whole workout. Single leg squats. Times. Second side. We'll go back to a shoulder press. I'm going to do my left arm first this time. So a little lean over, keep your chin tucked, your shoulders back, bringing it up into the rack position. And press. Really focus on keeping the ribs down more than the butt tucked. You can see I shrug a little bit at the top. Doesn't hurt. I'm not compensating through my back, so I'm not going to worry that. Ideally, you have nice packed shoulders, but they do elevate a little bit at the end, so my heart rate's up. How's yours? Okay, same thing. Hips down. We go into our single leg deadlift. The next progression, if those two were easy, hands to the floor, Now for this, we want to make sure that we're not rounding our back, right? Keep those shoulder blades back, pinched together. The ribs are down, shoulder blades are back, chin is tucked, neck is long, and we're going to come forward. The back toes should be facing towards the floor. If you're finding that you're rocking out, see if you can turn those toes towards the opposite hip. So my right leg is up, I'd go towards the left wall, or 9 o'clock. You can also lift your big toe off the floor, keeping the knuckle on the floor. That'll help create some stability through the foot at the same time. Second side. Notice my knee bends a little bit, but driven by the hip. I have to reset my shoulder blades each time, so be mindful. Go ahead and do that if you need to. All right, one more set of pull downs or ITs and Ys. You don't have to do both in one workout, unless you're a major overachiever and go first. ITs and Ys could be a nice part of a warm up too, if you wanted to do the pull downs here and do your ITs and Ys in the beginning. So toes are tucked, ribs are down, chin's tucked, neck long. Not letting yourself lean back, keeping your hips over your knees, looking straight ahead. Good. Last set of step-ups. Keep this out. Second side. And my last set of carries. Should have put that down before I turned around. But chin tuck, neck long, ribs down, pelvis level. Turn. High five. You made it. 3 sets of 8. That was 39 minutes on my clock. Since we have a couple minutes, we're going to do a little bit of we're going to do 5 minutes of conditioning, and then I'll take you through a quick stretch also. So conditioning, we're going to do body weight squats for 5, and then a 30-second quadruped plank. So let's catch your breath, just take a quick sip of water. I hope you took water as you needed to in the middle of that workout. I forgot because I was talking. Let's actually go 10 squats. You don't need your bench unless it hurts, then go to the bench. Here, 10, 9, 8. Keep your ribs down, chin tucked, neck long. Go to the range of motion that feels comfortable. Your feet can be turned out a little bit if you need to. I think this is 10. And we're going to come down, plank on hands and knees. Back straight, toes tucked, lift up 30 seconds. Don't have a timer, you can use your breath. feel like you're screwing your hands into the floor. Five seconds. And down. Back up. Body weight squats. You can reach out if you want. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back down to your plank. Ready? And go. Put your shoulders together. Make sure your shoulders are out of your ears. Make sure you're breathing. My breath is more shallow, so my 3 breaths is not making 30 seconds. I need a little break. I come down, I go back up. Whatever time you can do. And we'll go back up. One more round. Deep breath. 3, 2, 1, go. One. Take a breath. Down onto hands and knees. 3, 2, 1, go. If you need to, just come into this plank position and hold, this quadruped position and hold. Just here, keeping your postural cues will actually get you some work and create work in through your core. Make sure your knees are right under your hips. Do what feels good for you. You take a break as you need to. Your goal is 30 seconds. We got 4 more. And down. All right. That's all we got for our workout today. If you want to do another couple rounds of those conditioning, go for it. As you come down into stretch, we're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths and sitting. Hands on the outside of your waist, ribs down, chin tuck, neck long, chest proud. Breathe out into your side. This, if you don't get dizzy, you can close your eyes for because this is cool down. If you feel your sides moving and your belly raising, let your hands relax. Make sure we're not breathing deep here, more down into the belly. We're going to do some rotation stretch. This should feel good. You're going to feel work in your hips. You might feel some work in your upper back or your shoulders. And if it hurts, then, go to whatever range feels comfortable for you. This is meant to feel good, right? And we've got to breathe with it. This will kind of target everything that we just worked. So we're sitting crisscross. We're going to turn over our right leg, slide forward until you feel a stretch. I feel a stretch all through here. You're going to drop your elbow down, raise your arm overhead. Chin's back. See how I like to keep my head here. Got to train it to be back. And then you're going to bring your top hand down to the floor. A lot of nice length in through here. Second side. Hands forward. Can only come to here, that's okay. You can go farther than me, awesome. Drop your elbow, reach your arm up. And then hand flat. Good, because we just did some stretching. We want to end with a little bit of stability, but we're in cool down mode, so we're going to go back to our breathing. You can go to 90-90. You can go to lying with your legs out straight, or you can go into crocodile, which is on your stomach. Hands clasped, forehead resting on your hands, shoulders out of your ears. Breathe deep into your lower back. Make sure your butt's relaxed. Nice long, slow exhale. Done. Nice work. Hope you had a great workout. That took us 46 minutes, and we've got a warm-up, a workout, a cool down, and conditioning. So it's definitely doable within an hour. Your strength routine, if you're doing a good warm-up and a little conditioning with it, it's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour. You can add some, this I would do workout 1 and then workout 2. Maybe I like to alternate. So workout 1 on Monday, workout 2 on Wednesday, workout 1 on Friday, workout 2 on Monday, and kind of going that way. That way you alternate it and you're mixing it up and you're challenging your muscles in different ways throughout. I would do this for 3 to 5 weeks, and then you're ready to go and we're ready to update, and we'll change it around. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave me a comment on YouTube, or send me an email at laura@movebetterllc.com, or reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. I already went for my walk today, so I hope you get outside and do a little walking, or whatever other activity you like to. On your off days, that's a good time to do that steady state cardio, because we did some high intensity stuff here. That steady state is good to do on your off days. All right, or as an extra. Peace out. Have a great day. See you soon.